top of the, I don't know, most improved fighter of the year award, comeback fighter of the year, a whole bunch of things. Let's talk to Drew Dober about all that and more. He joins us now via the magic of Zoom. Hello, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. Congrats, man. What a year for you. Way to stamp it. 3 wins, 3 finishes. Considering how 2021 went, like if we would have talked this time last year, considering how 21 went, would you have believed me that you'd be able to bounce back like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in my career, I'm notorious for bouncing back from failures or bad performances. I mean, I fought Islam Makhachev, and as we know now, it's one of the best guys in the lightweight division. The only really loss that I feel bad about is the Brad Riddell. I think, I kind of gave that to him. But yeah, I definitely know what I'm capable of, and I'm showcasing it.
Confidence probably a lot higher right now than it was this time last year, right? Or did the confidence not even waver?
It didn't waver. I know what I'm capable of. Now it's just making sure it comes out on the right days.
Wow. All right. Well, good for you. What a performance. By the way, like Bobby Green, tough dude, especially tough, when you're talking about like outstriking him and knocking him out. Was that how you expected the fight to go? And I know the first round was a little tough. You're wearing some of that a little bit, but to do that to Bobby Green is supremely impressive.
I mean, for the fight to finish the way it did is surprising, and it's kind of surreal. I looked up to Bobby Green, and I know how talented he is. Definitely hard to hit, definitely even harder to knock out. And so I'm very happy with that win. But the first round happened as I expected it. And he is super hard to hit, and he's really fast. And man, the trash talking and the way he moves his head, man, he's definitely a unique specimen to deal with.
What was he saying to you in there?
Everything from that punch missed to nah, that didn't hurt. That hit my elbow. You got nothing. Oh, and my favorite part was when I tried to talk back to him and he told me to shut up and then hit me with a 2-piece. Like that was incredible. So man, props to him.
So he's just basically saying like, I'm the one doing the talking in here. You keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, pretty much. I made put forth my best effort to reciprocate, and no, man, he shut that up real quick.
What'd you say to him?
I don't even remember what I was trying to like. I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of an actions type of person. But man, I just kind of just drawed out some entertainment out of me. I wanted to give it a shot, and man, it just didn't come out well.
Amazing.
I feel like me trying to like trash talk is like giving your 10-year-old permission to cuss.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't come out fluidly. So I was like, yeah, I need to dismiss that idea.
And you guys are all good, right? Like afterwards, I saw like it wasn't coming from a malicious place.
No, man. Like Bobby and I have been cool with each other for the longest time, and we've known that this fight was going to happen eventually, and so we've talked about scheduling and seeing when they can work. Man, we've been very excited to fight each other, and man, it was a blessing to have it this year.
You tied Dustin Poirier's record for most finishes at 55, right? Knockouts at 55. Did you know that going into the fight? Did you know that you were one away from him?
Yeah, I know that statistic. I think they told me at the beginning of the year where I fell. It's not anything that I'm really chasing for, but it's pretty cool to be part of a record with Dustin Poirier.
That's incredible. At this point, you might as well try to snatch it, right?
I mean, I'm going for it. I mean, ideally, like let's be honest, I'm trying to fight the caliber of guys in which Dustin Poirier has knocked out. So like I'd much rather put a KO of Conor McGregor on my record than an up and comer.
That's a huge nod to you, a huge feather in your cap, and you're about to become a dad. You've announced this, Daddy Dober. But I heard that you said you're trying to get one in before you become a dad. You're going to become a dad in June, I believe, right? Do you feel though any different now, knowing that you're about to become a dad? Do you feel like you're fighting for a little more motivation, all that stuff?
Yeah, the motivation is definitely there. Just putting food on that table for more than just me. So it's just that enthusiasm. So now I got to use that enthusiasm, motivation, and try to use it productively. And where is this going to go? And definitely wakes me up in the morning. It forces me to do that extra round, that extra minute, and all that stuff. And and I'm excited for this daddy strength to show up when the baby does.
Boy or girl you're expecting?
So we got the gender reveal
Oh,
coming up in 2 weeks. So me and my family get to find out all together, and I'm sure I'm going to have a video of it for social media. So as of right now, I have no idea.
okay. And how are you going to reveal the gender? Are you doing like the cake, the gun thingy? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think my wife chose like the box idea. Yeah, she was bringing out these ideas like, so why don't we like punch something and then the smoke will come out and this and that. I was like, no, I'm not gonna punch anything
Yeah.
near you
Yeah.
at all. Like I'm off the clock, and so
Yes.
we're gonna do the box and the balloons are gonna come out, and so it's gonna be pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Good luck to you guys. I hope she's feeling, okay and hanging in there. I know it could be tough, right? Is she doing all right?
No, she's a champ.
Okay.
I
All right.
mean, like my toughness doesn't even compare to hers. So yeah, she's a gangster, and I know what I married. She's a boss.
So all right, so you're on this roll here. Like I said, I don't know, comeback fighter, most improved fighter. What would you like if you were giving yourself an award for 2022? What would you say? Because going 3-0 after, going winless in 21 is a huge turnaround for you. What would you say? What would you give yourself?
Yeah, most improved, most durable. You know,
Do you feel like you've
that's
improved a
like
lot?
most entertaining is the one I like. I
Okay.
like the most entertaining.
Do you feel like you've improved a lot, or is it just based on like matchups and like do you feel like you have
Oh
come?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. The 2021 losses between Islam and Brad Riddell have taught me a ton, and that's the beautiful thing. I think with my career is just being able to take these losses and these failures, and then doing something with it, and then showcasing it in the next one. So I'm constantly learning, constantly growing, and man, that Brad Riddell fight really taught me a ton, and I think I showcased that this year.
What did it teach you?
Man, I went into that fight like the moment I had that contract in my hand was like I'm gonna win by knockout. Like I got this, right? And so I went into that fight with this idea that I'm just gonna knock Brad out. And I found his chin in the first round, and I kind of just my mind got stuck on it. So I stopped setups, I stopped creativity, I stopped the variety. I stopped all this stuff, and dude, I was just this tunnel vision and just throwing bombs, head hunting, and Brad was able to, with his finesse and his ability to outmaneuver and outpoint me to win the decision. And it all just came from this tunnel vision that I had. So I had to like pull it back and go, man, why were we doing this? We're here to have fun. Right. And like, I just love martial arts. So my spinny kicks, my spinning back fist, my body shot to Rafael Alves, this is all just me being creative and having fun. And that's how I find my knockouts. So we just stopped headhunting.
I heard you say something after the fight on Saturday that I thought was really interesting. You were asked about, when you have some kind of animosity with your opponent as opposed to if you're friendly with them, like Bobby Green. And you said that when you have animosity, you're so afraid to lose to that person because you don't like them, and you fight with the mindset of like, oh, I don't want to lose, so I'm not going to open up. I'm not going to have fun. I'm not going to try creative things. As opposed to when you respect someone and like them, like Bobby Green, you don't mind losing to them as much. So then you're going to open up and you're going to have a better performance and a more fun, entertaining performance. I've never heard someone really break it down like that, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's why you see like the guys like Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal, and they just stand in front of each other, and neither one of them wants to go. But then you get guys that like are extremely cool with each other, Stephen Thompson and Kevin Holland,
Right.
and they just go nuts. And so like I love when like fighters respect each other and like enjoy the performance.
Now, let me ask you, last fight was in Dallas. Pretty great crowd, right? American Airlines. Then you go to the Apex. What was that like? I mean, it's got to be different, right? It's not the same.
Yeah, it's dumbed down for sure. Especially since I draw a lot of energy from the crowd. Man, so when you're at the Apex, I had to like find it, right? And so like I had to like find the people cheering. I had to find, it's like I had to simulate it in my head because man, I'm an entertainer and I'm doing this because I love performing martial arts in front of the millions. And I couldn't see you guys at the Apex, but I sure was thinking about it. And then yeah, so the next one needs to be in front of an audience.
Would you prefer not to be at the Apex anymore? Obviously, you're going to take what you can get. You want to get paid. It's your job. But if it was up to you, would you prefer to be in those arenas with all the people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it 100%. And I hated the green room when they initiated that, where they just shove you away from the audience, man. I loved being around the energy the entire time. And, I think of those 15 minutes to an hour for my entire life. And so when I'm in it, like I want to be with it.
Where do you miss it most? Like in the walkout or in the fight? Because I feel like in the fight, you don't really, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you're so focused that you're not really paying attention to all that. But I feel like in the walkout is where you can really get amped and excited for the fight. Am I right about that or wrong?
I mean, you're right about it. Yeah, there's not any one point that's like,
Okay.
like it's all of it. As soon as you arrive at the arena and then you feel the vibration and then
Right.
the locker room, like you can kind of hear it, but it's like a hum. And then that walkout is just tremendous. And then in the fight, like you can hear it, you can feel it, the applause, the boos, the all that stuff. And like I love every single, like before I was in the UFC, I was notorious for just sitting in the crowd for my fights.
Wow.
Right now, just wait to get my hands taped because I just love the environment, the music, the lights, the voices, the sweat, like like just the entirety of fighting. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I love sitting in the audience the days of my fight. Well, can no longer do that, but I sure wish there was more audience.
Why can't you do that?
I know. I assume that Brazil's rowdiness kind of ruined it for the athletes. They kind of like shove you away from the crowd, so that way they protect the athletes.
Okay.
But yeah, I have no idea the reasons why, but yeah.
Okay.
In the Apex, there's all of 20 people there.
Right. Afterwards, loved the Jalen Turner call out, and it seems like he's interested based on his tweets. Did you see his tweets? It was hard to decipher. I saw a couple of GIFs, but it sounded like he was down, right? Am I right about that?
I saw it, but everyone's down on Twitter.
Right.
Everyone's like, everyone wants to be a fighter until it's time to be a fighter. And so, man, like, who knows? Like, I think Jalin Turner was a good call out, but like, I'm trying to fight Michael Chandler and Fiziev. Like, I'm here for the bangers. I'm here for the most entertaining fights. And actually, what's like, who would you like to see me fight?
Well, I love the Jalin Turner one, to be honest, but now I'm actually thinking that you don't want the Jalen. Like, now I feel like you want an even bigger name or a higher rank guy than Jalin Turner. That's what it sounds like. No? Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me honestly, like, who do I want to fight? It's like Charles Oliveira is my Makachev, like the best in the world.
Right.
Now it's like, who can I get? Who can I get is a far different answer. So I try to be as realistic as possible, but truly, like, I'm willing to trade with anyone in the lightweight division, and I want to know who the people want to see me fight.
So like a Fiziev, you're down, all those guys that it seems like
absolutely
have a hard time finding
if
opponents.
Paddy's down, I do that one too.
Who's that?
I said, if Paddy's down, I'll do that one too. O2 Arena, I mean, you can't get any louder than that.
Yeah, I saw you talk about that potential one before the fight, but you said that the UFC probably wouldn't give you that one. Now, that's not, when you say that, that's not due to a skill thing, right? Like you're saying, or a ranking thing, you're saying they wouldn't do that because, at least based on your implication was like, you're going to beat him and they don't want you to beat him, right?
Yeah, he's a cash cow.
Yeah.
He's somebody that they're going to want to try to, keep in the UFC for as long as possible. And I'm notorious for killing hypes.
How do you think that fight would go?
He lives his chin up there way too long. His jiu-jitsu is a problem for sure. He just kind of like Bobby Green, like he's got a style that's hard to find. And so he might win this first round, but I will find his chin.
Okay. You think you stop him?
And
what do you think of his performance 2 weeks ago?
I think he has a lot to improve upon.
Yeah.
I think, man, it was a really, really close fight. Some people disagree how close it was, but I just feel when you're fighting a guy with that much star power, like, you can't be close.
So if they call you regarding Jalin Turner, you're down. You're in, but obviously bigger name. How do you think the Jalin Turner fight would go? He has looked fantastic as of late.
Yeah. I think that 6'3" reach would be an issue, but I got a teammate, Neil Magny, who is equally, if not a longer. So it would just be. I would definitely love a kickboxing fight with him, and I think he's going to be clenching me up and trying to take me down and grapple. In which I'll just showcase my purple belt, my brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
And man, that chin of yours, I don't know. Like, is there any part of you that feels like at some point, like, do you believe in the theory that the chin goes away, or do you think that that's something that you're just either born with? Because you have an incredible chin. I mean, even look at like it's just like a big hearty chin, but you could take a punch, my man. I'm sure you don't want to take these punches. I'm sure you don't want to take these shots, right? You'd rather not. But your ability to like withstand the pain, the damage, whatever it is pretty damn remarkable. Do you feel like that's going to last you throughout your entire career, or do you think that's something you have to be cognizant of?
I mean, you definitely got to be thoughtful of it. I think the chin is godsend. Punching power and durability is just godsend, and
Mhm.
I got the heart for it too, to back it up. But truthfully, I think what really deteriorates a chin is the extracurricular activities that fighters tend to do. And so I'm intelligent about my brain, and I take the time off when I need it. I don't really spar as much, and I'm not out there partying and doing a ton of drugs and ruining my longevity in the sport.
Oh wow! I was just going to ask you, what were you referring to? So you mean like just like the partying and all that stuff? Not so. I was wondering if you were talking about the sparring, but I guess maybe the combination of the two would be a
Yeah.
deadly. Yeah.
Yeah. When fighters are out partying and putting the drugs in their system and then trying to fight on top of that, and plus not respecting your body, we're all taking damage in fights, even more so in damage in training camps. I'm sparring Justin Gaethje, I'm receiving some mild concussions, in that aspect. So no matter how the fights go, you got to take that time off. You got to respect your body, and man, you got to listen to those nutritionists and those therapists and all those people to help the longevity of your health.
So no partying, but video games. Did you really? I saw on your Instagram like the next morning. You I don't know if it was an ad or something for Alienware, but like, were you really back home playing video games that quickly on Sunday morning?
Oh, it was this morning.
That was this
It was
morning.
this morning.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I got in back from Las Vegas last night, but yeah, I decided to just boot up some Alienware. I bought myself a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, so I'm about to test out Elden Ring and God of War. I got a lot of time on my hands in between fights, and
Yeah.
so this is what I do.
Wait. So you got yourself a Christmas gift?
Yeah, of course.
Why not? Why sit
I
around
mean,
hoping someone gets it for you? Just get it yourself.
exactly. I mean, we just had to put away Bobby Green before I could actually open up the box. So
What's the main game that you're playing now?
I was replaying Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm a big RPG nerd. Like all my friends are like, hey, let's hop on Apex and play multiplayer games. Like I'm not a multiplayer type of person. I'm not a first person shooter. I play the virtual books. So
Wow.
when I nerd out, it's as high as a nerd you can get.
Let me ask Frank. He's our resident nerd. Frank, you know about this game he's talking about?
Completely stand behind everything he's saying.
All right. Frank agrees with you, just so you know, so you could feel good about that. That's mysterious, Frank.
Good.
For all nerd questions, we go to Frank. Well, very happy for you. Congratulations on the win, on the performance, on the year, man. An incredible year, and I'm looking forward to 2023 for you to see what you do. And good luck, of course, with the upcoming pregnancy and with the gender reveal. A lot of exciting things for Drew Dober, so enjoy it all, my man.
We got big things coming in and outside of the cage, and so I'm excited.
I love it. Happy holidays. Thanks for coming on.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, there he is, Drew Dober.